Episode 34. Our spooky Halloween adventure continues, unfortunately with no rain, and not at night. I was hoping to get a campfire tale from the old man here, but it's not very atmospheric at the moment, especially this music too. Not very scary. This person's a bard, right? Maybe they could play some spooky music for us. I was once a manservant in the employ of one of the oldest and proudest families in Gridania, the Danticores. During that time I had the honor of waiting upon Lady Amandine, mistress of the household. Fair as summer was she, and possessed of a heart befitting her radiance. Alas, the calamity wrought a great change in her. Though my lady escaped with her life, death may well have been a kinder fate. Never will I forget the day her bandages were removed, and she beheld her disfigured face for the first time. At that moment, the kindly woman I knew ceased to be. Unable to bear the thought of being seen, my lady sequestered herself within her chambers and refused all company. This continued for many uneasy moons, until one day, without warning, she began receiving queer guests. None among us knew whence they came, these masked men, but my lady believed that they would help her regain that which she lost. So began the rites of rejuvenation. These rituals seemed innocent enough at the beginning, but grew ever more grotesque as time went by. Eventually there came a day where my lady bound one of her handmaidens to her bed and proceeded to mutilate the poor girl's face. Suffice it to say, she did not survive the ordeal. It fell to me to dispose of her body. I performed the dreadful task as bade, obedient servant that I was. But when the time came to return to the house, my legs refused to move. I knew then that I could not go back to that place, not after the nightmare I had witnessed. So it was I left Hawk Manor, my home for nigh on half a century. Long did I weep for the girl who was slain, and longer still for the woman that Lady Amandine had been. Yet one cannot weep forever, and I endeavored to put the matter behind me. Indeed, I had resolved to never speak of my experience, until you appeared before me. My lady's madness must be ended, lest more innocent lives be lost. Lay her tormented soul to rest, as you swore to me you would. She awaits you at Hawk Manor, on the western edge of the central shroud. Go now. Go and do what must be done. Now that story would have been perfect at night. I guess our quickest route is from over here. Currently 12:36 in Eorzea time. Night falls at, what, 6 p.m., 8 p.m.? Just kind of hoping it'll be nighttime by the time we reach the dungeon. Of course, inside the dungeon, it'll be night already, or it'll be dark. It doesn't really matter what time of day it'll be. But I guess the exterior would be nice to see at night. 6 achievement certificates now. Hmm. Maybe when we're done, I'll pay a visit back to that guy. I'm in a Halloween mood, not just for this game, but for the other games I'm playing this month. I pick up some flare items that match that. Well, it will certainly not be night by the time we reach there, but at least it'll be a foggy afternoon. Alright, that's enough of that. Although one more. For a thumbnail. Unless I use something inside the dungeon for the thumbnail. Maybe this. Or this. I did say I want to see it at night, but in the dark, it always makes it hard to use as a thumbnail, just because it's hard to see when the picture is so small. Foggy daytime might be better than pure night. Or something on the inside. And a quick check. The same scions that we've been seeing kind of grow up alongside us. I guess they weren't previously scions in the first few dungeons before we met these scions ourselves. But then these nameless NPCs became scions and are now leveling up alongside us. Alright. And once our queue is complete, we'll cut back into the dungeon. That floating eyeball may have actually stolen the show. I think that's a great thumbnail contender right there. Don't have fire 3 at this level. I was mainly learning how to use the end game rotation, so I think I'll be a little bit bad at this level of rotation. believe the dungeon here changed a little bit. Not the layout, but just some optimization. Used to be at a certain point you would have to use return in order to get back to the start of the dungeon quickly. Because the final boss is right next to the stairs leading up there. But I guess I recognize players did that. So they added in a shortcut down here back to the upper level. I was going to ask. I didn't actually know which one we target first. Wrong one. Here's the shortcut I mentioned. Wondering if those barking dogs can be picked up by the mic. Might have to edit that out. Just had enough time to greet it. Might just want to burn down the boss herself. I forgot to eat food. Don't play that fanfare. Don't look so happy. I forgot to eat food for the experience buff. Well, it doesn't matter. And what did we get? Some weapons I can't use. Darkness has taken root within these halls. Sprung from the most unlikely of seeds. One cannot help but admire the irrepressible spirit that quickened it to life. It is a pleasure to meet you at last, adventurer. You are every bit as intriguing as our master gave us to believe. It is no ordinary mortal who can acquire one crystal of light, much less 3. The crystals make you strong, and it is to that strength that the light is drawn. Eidolon chose well. A pity that your existence is irreconcilable with our own. We cannot well allow you to continue upon your present course. Alas, we came here not to play, but to take the measure of your strength for Master La Habrea. That task now accomplished, we take our leave of you. Fare you well, bringer of light. Well, we found the Asians, but I have no idea what exactly they were doing with this whole plot. The previous investigation into Little Alamigo at least made sense in the sense that they were furthering the attempts to summon by trying to convince the Little Alamegans to summon Relgar, which is their modus operandi, I guess, convince people to summon. This one I'm not so sure what they were trying to do, or how they were involved. Oh, now it's night time. You are returned. What sights awaited you within the manor? What has become of Lady Amandine? You must tell me all. So she went so far as to consort with devils. Would that I could have done more to prevent her fall. May she finally find peace in the beyond. I know not whether the masked men you encountered are the same pair that first led my lady astray, but it is plain that they are of the same vile brood. Should the chance ever present itself, promise me that you will visit upon them tenfold the woe that they have brought upon others. But who am I to speak of punishment? By my silence, I allowed I know not how many innocent young women to die in unspeakable circumstances. It matters not wherefore, through misplaced loyalty, cowardice, or both. I am an abettor to a gross crime. I will surrender myself to the authorities and accept whatever punishment they deem just. I only pray that the gods will have mercy on my soul. So dutifully did I serve my lady in happier times, only to forsake her when she needed me most. My failures will forever haunt me, and yet with your brave deeds, mayhap my lady's tormented soul will find peace after so many years of woe. Alright. Didn't really match the mood, but we're celebrating. I said I'd do my best to ignore it, but if I see someone playing, I feel compelled to play myself. Oh, 2 cards. I'll set a limit for myself. Only 5 attempts per card. I have upgraded my deck, so it should at least be somewhat easier. I won't think too hard about it. Okay, we're reducing it to 3 attempts per card. That took longer than I thought it would. I hate combo. I think I can still win. No. I mean, I certainly could have drawed, but I still don't get a card either way. Alright, last attempt. If this just goes the same way, I'm gonna end up losing. Another combo? Really? Can I combo? This would be a 2 and a 5. Alright, a play like that deserves a card, don't you think? Okay. Now I guess we got this from the dungeon. Alright. And then 3 more attempts for the other card. How much time have I spent on this already? Hopefully not more than 5 minutes. Precious recording time. Oh, I hate it. I hate combo. I should have known. Let's see. Nope, can't combo. Can I set up my own combo? Well, I said I wasn't gonna think too hard about it. Alright, I'm just gonna do one more try. This is getting on my nerves. It has both same and plus, so there's ample opportunity to combo all around. Which just means it's more infuriating. No, that's the card we already have. I'm not forgetting you, Noahs. Alright. Now, with our achievement certificates, I was thinking about getting this eye to commemorate the little quest that we just went through involving this eye. But we do have enough for this. We won't see them out too much though. That mount is basically just a bigger version of this guy. In the spirit of the season, hopefully this guy isn't annoying like the bomb and try to take up the screen. If he is, we'll move him back to the, move the minion back to the cat. Ah, we're reporting to Enfilia. Less experience than I'd hoped we'd get from that dungeon. Let's say we got this little eyeball from the dungeon. After beating up the eyeball that was inside there, it decided to swear fealty to us instead of that void send. Actually looking at these... maybe I will actually do some of these dungeons just to level up the main. I kind of want to finish up the level 50 quest today, so I don't want to have to wait through the main quest. If I get about 1 bar of experience per dungeon, then maybe I have to complete 3 dungeons. Let's see, I currently have 1 already. It's low level, but the experience from the dungeon should be synced, I guess, if I'm understanding correctly. Maybe? Is that how that works? Doesn't look like anyone's moved from their position. Welcome back, Homoi. Full glad am I to see you safely returned. Tell me, how fared you on your sojourn in the Twelves Wood? Spooky eyeballs. 2 of La Habre's minions, and they sought to measure your strength by their own admission? The devils taunt us. It is beyond doubt, then. The Ascians have begun to move in earnest. Would that we knew to what end. Yet I will not bemoan our plight. Thanks to your tireless efforts, we are at least aware of the encroaching darkness. Alas, we can only do so much. It is clear to me now that we Scions are too few to protect the realm against this threat unaided. We must needs alert the 3 nations to the presence of this elusive enemy, and recommend that they heighten their vigil. There is no shortage of misery in the world that the Ascians might exploit. We have an arduous struggle ahead of us. Yet come what may, we must not allow ourselves to become lost to hope, for that is precisely what the enemy desires. We have gleaned all we can from the information available to us. Let us set this investigation aside for the present. Another matter has arisen that requires your attention. Let me know when you are ready to be briefed, and I will summon the others. Speaking of weapons, if I am going to be level 50 soon, I should actually get a level 50 weapon. I don't think you get one for free when you reach level 50, if I recall correctly. Should we continue with Minfilia right now? We just wrapped up the storyline on those guys. I guess the plot was that the Ascians did all that to test us. Kind of seems like a roundabout way. Making a lot of trouble at a private residence just to lure in a specific adventurer, or something like that. Well, I can't imagine any other reason they would have gotten involved with all the Void Sense stuff. We'll continue with Minfilia's talk and see where that leaves us. I don't plan to continue on the main story quite yet, but she can at least brief us on our mission while we're here.
The Maelstrom requests our assistance. 'The 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 Mael
Concerning the kobolds they sent such copious notes on, I presume?
Yes. And no. It has more to do with their findings, which portend a peril far greater than any beast tribe.
What sort of peril?
The worst kind. A tribe of kobolds in the vicinity of Limsa Lominsa has reawakened Titan. Our task will be to slay the Primal. The Maelstrom have sworn support for the endeavor. They are no strangers to the havoc kobolds can wreak.
Years before the Grand Company's reformation, two primals, Leviathan and Titan, chanced to converge upon the sea wall, wreaking untold devastation. There, by the grace of the Navigator, were the mercenaries Merlvip hired able to fend them off. Yet it did not take long for the beast tribes to regroup, and they summoned their primals once more.
Thankfully, their second coming was decidedly short-lived, but that is beside the point. So long as tormented souls will them to exist, the realm will never be rid of primals.
The Maelstrom has kept a watchful eye upon the beast tribes, and the kobolds in particular, ever since. Which brings us to the matter at hand.
Unlike Ifrit, we know scarcely anything of Titan. Unfortunately, the only force known to have bested him, the modestly named Company of Heroes, disbanded 5 years since, and mercenaries are not in the habit of keeping chronicles.
Expect the worst. The Maelstrom's help is of course appreciated, but even if we had their whole armada at our disposal, we could still find ourselves overmatched. A pity the kobolds lack the gentle sensibilities of the sylphs. A peaceful resolution would be more than welcome. The echo will not avail you this time, I fear. If you are to survive, your steel must needs speak for you. No one would think you a coward were you to decline.
So you will accept? Thank you.
We can't very well send her to Limsa Lominsa without Y'shtola. Can we, Minfilia?
May I ask that of you, Y'shtola?
I never thought it in question.
Ever reliable. Very well. We will spare no effort to win victory. You may count on the full support of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. And all not afield will aid the fight from afar. Thancred, Ida, go to the Grand Companies. Tell them of our plight and solicit their support. Urianger, send word to the students of Baldessian, and Alfino if you would. Papalimo, compile all the information we have on Titan, little though it may be. You will be apprised of the tactical situation when you reach the Sailor's Ward. Provision yourself for the journey. May you walk in the light of the crystal.
Alright, guess we're gearing up for another big primal slaying. I suppose we can say that Minfilia's instructions to us, as she was relaying them to everyone among the Scions, was to get ready for the battle coming ahead. So we'll take that as training up our Black Mage skills up to level 50. We'll say that the Maelstrom that we're going to meet with over in Lenosia is preparing things for our arrival, and will be contacted at a later point in time. During this time, we'll look into gearing up once we reach level 50. Of Of course, there's no use or no need to make all these excuses for the NPCs or anything like that. This is just a thing that I like to do. Oh, this only goes up to level 49. And the weapons would probably be the same thing. Oh, we could get a level 44 weapon. Gee, is there anything on the market board with a reasonable price? Players tend to gouge other players. How do I... Ah, right. Dometer charms and level 50. I guess the highest level that we can buy would be item level 115. No one's selling. Gouging on that price. A little bit unfortunate. Oh man. Why are people charging this much? I guess it kind of looks nice, but it's still a one-handed thing. You wouldn't be able to glamour it because after level 50, black mages only have the two-handed stuff. And I'm pretty sure you can't glamour a two-handed weapon as a one-handed wand. Well, that's it for the level 50 stuff. Unless I were to go to another world, I don't think I'd be able to find a better price at level 50. Of course, getting level 50 gear is no problem if you have the tomestones for it. I was just hoping to kind of skip that step. I'm sure I'll get a weapons coffer around that region, but for now, might as well go ahead and just buy a very cheap level 44 item. What is this? It's on our... Oh, right. Another dungeon. Time heals all wounds. Or so they say. Or so say those who have never experienced true pain. More than 30 summers have passed since I carried the standard of the Darklight Raiders into Cutter's Cry. But not a day goes by that I don't see the faces of the fiend of the friends I lost that fateful day. Gerbold the Red and his loyal second, Aubreyus Stillwater, Simon the Sweet, always armed with a jab and a jest. Our ever ireful mage Tyron Sabron, as quick to cast as he was to temper, or Moen Salzengil, never has there lived a man with a tighter grip, be it on his sword or his coin. And let us not forget one Ilmilson, Though it's hard to fathom now, what with all the adventurers scampering around like rabbits in the spring. There was once a time when bands of mercenaries mercenaries were who the city-states turned to when in need of a blade. The Darklight Raiders being the biggest and best of them bands. Ishgardian-funded forays into hellish pits like the Aurum Vale would earn us a king's ransom in a matter of days. Though it would only take a night of devil's play at the Mirage to see it gone from our purses. But so was the life of a raider. That is, until we took that job at Cutter's Cry. My brothers and I stood against the herds of giant buffaloes of Ogamoro, snurble infestations of the Pearl, legions of cold-blooded Sahagin, from the abyssal depths of the Indigo Deep. But none of that prepared us for the horrors we would face in Hell's Brit holes. None of it prepared us for the Chimera. The bards still sing of the day 7 of the realm's finest warriors set off into the bowels of the Forsaken Place. But only saw one return, Seabold the Stoic, spared by the beasts so that he may warn all others who would be foolish enough to attempt to despoil the Chimera's lair. My apologies. You did not come to hear the guilt-ridden ramblings of an old man. But if you have a moment, I was wondering if I could ask of you a favor. The final wish of an ailing soul seeking peace with his past before departing on his journey through the 7 gates. In each of the 30 summers since escaping the maws of that terrible beast, I have returned to its lair to pay the proper respects to my fallen compatriots. However, the years have finally caught up with old Seawold, and try as I might, no longer can these bones make the trek alone. If it is not too much to ask, would you travel to Cutter's Cry in my stead, and place this bouquet of flowers upon the resting place of the Darklight Raiders? Alright, that was a very solemn tale, but this guy was very disrespectful. Flying in front of his face, flying in front of the camera, flying all over the place during that whole monologue. I think the flying minions are just kind of going to be a little bit annoying in that way. I'll keep it around, I like it enough. But I'll probably not keep it around during the long dialogues that we might have with people. So I think I'll trade it back to the cat. I know I just got it this episode, but I am realizing how obtrusive it can be. Let's see. Is that weathered ring any good? Why is the weathered ring better than item level 29? Well, I'm just going to go with a higher level one. It doesn't seem like I have any better pants than what I have right now. But these are technically the same. They're actually exactly the same, other than the item level, which means nothing. Okay, we'll do that. And this. Since I had the time at the end of this episode, I just wanted to take care of some minor housekeeping. Might as well. We have 800 spaces, so. What I wanted to do mainly was put in our... brand new set. We've long since a while ago outgrown the level for these, so I did want to keep the outfit for this playthrough, at least until I find something better. Right, I didn't have anything here. There was no brand new hat. There we go. And actually put in the ring as well. Not put in. What about this one? Oh. Right, it's part of the other. Right, there we go. And this was a special quest item, so we'll put it in as well. Alright, I think that's everything I wanted. Now to set up our glamour. What was it? This ring on the left and... Right, I'm already wearing the brand new ring. Oh, and I did get this from... Gold Saucer. Alright, there we go. Ah, wrong finger. Alright, there was no need for it, but the housekeeping is done. Well, with that said, I think now would be a good time to take a break.